Aloha.
Shout out Pearl Harbor, by the way.
Hello and welcome. We're back from theballerlifestyle.com. It's the Baller Lifestyle Podcast. My name is Brian Becker. Thank you very much for joining us. Episode number 370 of the show. We love you. I am joined now, as always, by Mr. Ed Daly. Ed, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing a lot better than Sam Menzin. I just read when I just sat down. Tigers assistant GM resigned shortly before the team let him know they were going to fire him for improper conduct. Two women who work for the Tigers said Menzin sent them photos of his genitals. These fucking guys. Like the 30th scandal where
Never
this
works.
happens,
Yes.
and you're like, no, they just didn't get the right angle of it.
Like, who? No one's ever been receptive to that. Like fresh off the, like right off
Especially
the bat.
a coworker.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They'd be like, ooh. Didn't know you were working with that, Sam. Swing by the office.
Sam, now I see you in a different light. Let's fuck.
Let's fuck. Yeah, exactly. It goes from 0 to 100. All you got to do is drop that dick on him.
And if you're really into baseball, there are 30 jobs?
Yeah.
He's the assistant GM. Like, he's super close to the best he's ever going to do in that profession.
Yeah. Yeah, like even the Houston guys that cheated, they got jobs again. You know, like it's you can come back from certain things, but being the dick pic guy, like assistant GM, you got to talk to the media and shit. Like people know your name. You're never going to get to that level ever again. Maybe he's like a real good analytics guy. Yeah, he could do something, but he's not going to rise to that level
he was
ever again.
So close to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And then he just found two young ladies in the office that he couldn't resist.
Here's my dick. Look at my dick. And he probably is an analytics guy. He's probably one of these MIT nerds that's like never had an interaction with the lady.
He didn't analyze the situation properly. I know that.
I bet he drives a Cybertruck, Ed. 100%.
Saw another one today.
High
finger.
High likelihood of Cybertruck. I just before we started, I just opened this thing. Where did they play the Final Four? Because some security guard's looking like a real dipshit because he wouldn't let Hakeem Olajuwon onto the court.
The Dream.
Dream. Houston alum.
In San Antonio, so maybe he was a bitter Spurs guy that didn't like the Rockets. I don't know.
Yeah, for Dream, putting it on David Robinson all those years. Like, because I was like, well, maybe he's so young. But the thing is, the dude's a 7 foot tall black man. Like, even if you don't happen to know who Hakeem Olajuwon is, like he's there and he's like in the sweater and shit. And it's like, maybe you just get a person of authority involved. Cause like your spidey senses would say, he seems like he belongs here. Right. I know I'm 5'7" and I have a little tiny bit of power here today and I feel like fucking people over, but this could look bad for me. So maybe I just call somebody and see what they say.
Yeah. He's clearly a former player.
Yes.
He has great seats.
Yes.
And he's that tall. Yeah. Even if you don't know who he is, you turn around and you're like, hey, is he with the Houston guys? Like, what's going on? But even worse, maybe about 8 to 10 years ago, when he was the coach of Georgetown, I remember there was an incident where a security guard wouldn't let Patrick Ewing into Madison Square Garden because he didn't have credentials. And you're like,
yeah,
maybe the most famous Knick of all time, and he doesn't get into the Garden.
That's insane. Like, you should have, that should be part of the gig. Like, you take you just show them pictures, you know? Okay. Or you make a sheet. You know, This guy shows up, but like this guy at the Final Four, he looks like he's like in his early 40s. You know, like he would have some sense of who
he
Hakeem
definitely was
Olajuwon
alive
is.
when Hakeem Olajuwon was super famous.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty embarrassing and I'm not the biggest sports fan in the world, but come on. Even I know that.
Doesn't Hakeem make like shitloads of money for like training NBA players?
Yeah. Yeah.
He
You
did
were
a story
upset
where
about that.
he's charging a bit much.
Yeah,
He was charging a bit much.
he's teaching him the dream shake. He was like kind of like the prototype for the way big men play today. You know, like he was a real athlete.
Oh yeah. He was great.
Okay, let's talk about some people. Wait, I don't even know if I'm on the right page here. I got to reorganize these things. You know what? You know what we need is a producer. I need somebody willing to work for free to produce the show. I reached out to someone in our audience that will remain nameless, but is related to me. I will just give that hint. They're related to me. And I'm like, hey, do you want to do the TikTok for the show? And they're like, nah. Don't blame them. I understand. Like, we need a TikTok. It seems kind of like a lot of work for me, but more so, I need somebody to like play the songs and do the shit for us. But I need them to be reliable and to do it for free every Monday night at 5:00. So it's something to think about. Let's talk about some. As soon as I get on the right page, people who died.
Just tell us who was dead now. Who died? Breaking. Who died? Just tell us who was dead now. Who died? It's a sad segment. Very sad.
Very sad.
And it will not be an update on who's alive. Nope. Let's get a tragic update. Cause Ed Daly has been keeping up on who just died. Yep. Cause we're about to hear from Ed on which celebrities are dead. So tell me who died.
A quick tease for later in the show. We might be hearing something new from the great Brad in Florida. Ooh. Later in the show. It's always exciting when we get something new from the great Brad in Florida. Ed, who died this week?
Well, first up, Jay North, who played Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
And I believe, I think his aunt abused him. There's something going on, but he was like the guy who looked out for child stars when they get discarded.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he leaned into help kids, because I think he we know about child stars.
Oh, yeah,
what goes to them. And I
Alfalfa.
think I think
the whole R gang. Yeah.
Yeah, they were getting fucked over left and right. The our gang.
And you ever watch those clips of those Shirley Temple movies, Ed?
Absurd.
I mean, how was that normal at the time? Well, she's 3 years old doing a song and dance, and all the guys are like, hubba hub, baby, I'm looking to fuck later. Let's go.
Yeah, when I was researching for the Christmas book, there was one Shirley Temple Christmas movie. And so I'm like, all right, I've never actually seen one of these.
Yeah.
And she goes on a plane and all these military guys are like, yeah. And she's just singing and dancing. What the fuck?
No. Horrible.
So Jay North, 73, colorectal cancer.
Oof.
Tough one. Oof. I will say, not about his character.
Yeah.
But the character he played, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, he was always fucking with that Mr. Wilson.
He was the villain because he just wanted to take a nap. He wanted to mow the lawn without having some kid fuck up his lawnmower.
Yeah. Yeah, Dennis the Menace is busting kickflips in his driveway and broke another window, Mr. Wilson. It's what the fuck, kid?
And then the wife is hard on Mr. Wilson. He's like, hey, what do I have to do around here? This little piece of shit. And he'll he would steal things of Mr. Wilson's and he was the bad guy. He
was the bad guy, and Mr. Wilson was the bad guy. Dennis was a bad guy. Also, he was like an early example of neurodivergence. He just kind of wasn't didn't really have his shit together. I don't know how he was allowed to go out and play alone. What was the parenting that was happening there that this Dennis the Menace is fucking menace? Literally, it's in his name.
Yeah.
He's menacing the neighborhood, and the parents are just like, whatever, see you later.
Yeah, piece of shit.
Also, why was this on when we were kids? Why couldn't...
That's the hardest thing to explain.
Yeah.
But that's the hardest thing to explain, like I know some guys, like a guy I go to Knicks games with, he's in his 30s.
Yeah.
And it's even mind-blowing to him. But like when we were kids, they were rerunning shit from the 50s. There was nothing else to show us.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so like
no, it's insane.
I've seen at least like 30 episodes of Dennis the Menace. And that was on when my parents were kids.
Totally. We had Double Dare. Okay. So we're like, fuck yeah, Double Dare. This shit's awesome. This is great. I'll take the physical challenge. But then interspersed in between Double Dare was fucking Dennis the Menace, Davey and Goliath.
Oh, Jay Stu's show.
Oh, I Love Lucy.
We got a lot of that. Yes. All over the place.
Honeymooners. It was like they made shit in the 50s. They stopped making shit, and they're just like, show these kids what adults liked in the 50s. And it's like, I didn't want to see that shit.
Yeah, so when they at least rolled out a Gilligan's Island, I was like,
great show.
In heat.
Loved it.
Because it's like, compared to the other shit.
Yeah. Bullshit. I mean, I Love Lucy. Just the worst. Like
remember in the age contest, they were the Mertzes.
Oh, yeah. They weren't even that old.
I think Ethel was in her 30s.
Yeah, she was in her 30s. I have a disgusting friend that has a sexual, and look, people will know who I'm talking about. He has sexual feelings about Ethel Mertz, which is just fucking psychotic. I don't know how that could possibly happen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Who else died?
We also lost Richard Chamberlain, actor, 90 years old.
Yeah.
Oldness.
Oldness. Yeah, he died of oldness. He was one of those guys that was in like every mini series. Mini series were a big deal.
Yeah, like
the Thornbirds.
Thornbirds.
Yes, he's in all of those. Shogun. They remade Shogun. There's a new Shogun. The original Shogun was Richard Chamberlain.
Yeah, I heard it's very good, Shogun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a subtitle show, so it's like
that's right.
I just need breaks. I actually got into Tokyo Vice a couple months ago, and I was like, this is a good show.
Oh, that's the one with the Ansel Elgort with the beautiful lips. Yeah.
And coincidentally, I also was watching a documentary about a missing hostess in Tokyo in 2000.
Oh, uh-huh.
And the real life version of Ansel Elgort. Like
this is based on a real thing?
So Jake Adelstein is like the Gaijin reporter for like the Tokyo newspaper, whatever the main one is.
Yeah.
And they show the real one in this documentary. Like I gotta say,
not as handsome.
He looks like a reporter.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow.
Yeah. Well, it kind of helps, It kind of helps that actors are so good looking. They could find a good looking person to play you. Like if you were being portrayed in a movie, it would have to be either Jesse Plemons or Matt Damon who would play you because you look like some combination of the two of them. That's not bad.
Yeah. So, R.I.P. Richard Chamberlain.
Very sad.
If you told me he didn't make it to the 21st century,
I was stunned. I was stunned he was still alive. And also, he's one of those good looking guys that
he's very handsome.
Very handsome. And looking back, I'm like, oh, that's a gentleman of the Pierce. Like, this is this clearly, this guy's got some Broadway in him. Yeah. It's like
midnight botanist.
No judgment, but it's just like, oh, we didn't know that back in the day,
In his 90 years, never found the right one.
Confirmed bachelor.
R.I.P. Dave Allen, post-punk bassist for bands like Gang of Four and Shriekback, British dude, 69 years old. They didn't give a cause, but he had been living with dementia for the last few years.
And Gang of Four is one of those bands that's all about the bass player. Like he's the backbone of that band. Yeah.
R.I.P. Dean Wells, NFL linebacker and Kentucky legend, 54 years old, cancer. The big one this week.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Val Kilmer, 65. And I was at a bar Thursday, and a bunch of us were just talking about, and like roll after roll, this dude had some career. He was awesome.
Yeah, he was fucking awesome, and I would encourage people to watch the documentary Val. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, I don't know what it's on, but you just really get a sense of the guy wanted only one thing, and that was just to be a fucking great actor. Like, and he was almost burdened by being this beautiful, handsome man because they wanted to put him in those like leading man type roles, and he just wanted to do the best fucking possible work, and that's why he's doing like the Ghost in the Darkness and the fucking Island of Dr. Moreau, and like he was really going after shit because he just wanted to be great,
right?
And remembered for being great.
And somebody brought up the point that his first role, I think, was Top Secret.
Great
Spoof movie.
Yeah.
But then he did like Real Genius, and then it's like, all right, we'll just put him in the comedies, and then he does Top Gun, and then he bounces around, and he's doing Heat, he's doing The Doors, he's all. I mean, you watch that bank heist scene in Heat when he's just
so
like
good, so good,
fucking awesome.
Yeah. And there's a clip. And that was the cool thing is that like when somebody fucking really great like that dies, immediately it's just fucking nothing but clips of people remembering them. And that's like a really cool thing about the internet and social media. And there's one of him where he's talking about how some Marines were telling him that they like show that scene to guys, to like trainees or recruits, because he's able to fucking change the clip so fast. And they're like, this guy knows how to do it. You really got to do it like this guy. And he was like so proud that because obviously he practiced it, he wanted it to be good and look real. The guy was just a fucking amazing guy, amazing talent. His portrayal, Jim Morrison, ridiculous. Like it just, he became the guy. He completely immersed himself and became the guy. He sang the songs. Just the guy was unbelievable. Great talent. Tragic loss.
Tough last decade for him. Oh, Kiss Bang Bang. He was great.
Yes.
He's so many good roles, but always fun to revisit that guy's career.
Who was the female lead in that Kiss Bang Bang?
Oh, Michelle Monaghan.
Yeah, big fan.
You see plenty of her in that movie.
Big fan.
And then some people are famous and some people inspire something. We lost somebody named Joe DePew. He was the baseball player who inspired Bruce Springsteen's glory days. 75 years old, cancer. The lyrics in that song.
Yeah. He threw that old speedball by you. Speedball. Now, how does he? Now, I get he's writing lyrics, and he's got the whole E Street Band, which is like 17 dudes. There's little Steven.
Bruce. Speedball.
Max.
That's what killed. That's what
that's what got Scott Weiland.
No, that's what killed Belushi 5 years ago. Right? Because that was about the time Glory days, or 4 years ago.
Exactly.
Like.
Yeah,
nobody calls it a speedball.
Like the big man couldn't be like, hey, how about we just say fastball, boss? Like, like Scroogey, like come up with curveball. Any other pitch that's an actual pitch. You can't just make shit up. Speedball. And it's not like you look like you don't know what sports is.
Yeah, and it's not like he had to use the word speed because of syllables. Fastball was right there.
Yeah, it was right.
Like,
it works.
He wasn't trying to rhyme speed with anything. He wasn't trying to cram in a syllable thing. He used the word speedball. Yeah. And like you said, 17 members of the E Street Band, not one person could be like
that. And the rest of that song bugged me too, because he's like swinging by some he's going to the bar and meeting up with some chick, and he's affecting a blue collar persona that he did. He's been famous since he was 19 years old. This guy was not a fucking blue collar dude. Like, well, get the fuck out of here, Bruce.
Yeah, I believe and look, I like him. I'm not, I don't. Well,
he gave out full-size bars on Halloween, as we've learned. Like that is, he's a native son. He's a great dude, and he's a great dude. He's got some songs for sure.
But like, come on, buddy, Speedball. So R.I.P. Joe DePew, but Joe,
the inspiration.
That's a stain on your legacy.
R.I.P. Okay, because
I'm sure Joe DePew knew what he was throwing. Like the catcher wasn't just putting the one in his. He wasn't calling for the one, and then they're like, "Is that the speedball?
Speedball or fastball?
I can't remember. Is that the speedball?"
Let's talk some sports.
My name is Brian. They call me the other guy. I host a podcast show. I'll give hetero life a try. If you see something on my hand that makes you think I'm not a man, It's just my cool rings, you see. They're as sparkly as can be. A Mino Troy on DVD.
Ed, what is going on this week?
Shaq
Great
was
Shaq.
on a podcast,
Yeah.
and he went on a rant
Yeah.
about Ben Simmons, and he said he should be arrested for theft for the career earnings. It is crazy.
yeah.
I watched it. He's a Clipper now, I think, and
Yeah.
I watched a Knicks Clippers game, and like he came into the game, and like I didn't even know he exists anymore.
I didn't either. Yeah.
Like he's irrelevant.
Yeah.
This was the number one pick, and was actually like having a decent career, and then he was afraid of going to the foul line, and so he passed up an open dunk.
Yeah.
Or an open trip to the line. Like it was going to be a trip to the line or a dunk, and he passed it. And from that point forward, he blamed the Sixers. He refused to show up. It was his back. No, it's actually mental health. And then he's just a guy who has made so much money and done nothing.
Money. Yeah. He's one of these guys that he couldn't shoot, right? Like he was a really good
he had like
passer.
no 3-pointers.
Yeah. He was like a really tall, long, like Jason Kidd. Remember Jason Kidd couldn't shoot. Like
Right.
that was the thing. He came in the league. They're like, oh, he can't shoot. He's just never going to shoot. And like Rajon Rondo couldn't shoot. Like but then they developed it a little bit so they could just shoot enough, you know? And this guy, Ben Simmons, he was too much of a puss. He's Australian, you know? He's not from here. He went to LSU, whatever. He just couldn't, he just didn't have enough in him to just go, if I could just get like a little floater, if I just had one shot that they had to defend, that would open up more passing. Instead, he was a real bitch about it, you know, that's it. And now, yeah, he made a lot of money. But one thing about all these guys is they're all fucking jealous of everybody that made more money than them after, you know, like it's like, cause Shaq made all the money, but now guys are all making more money than Shaq did. He's not going to be the career. I don't know who the career salary leader is anymore, but it's not Shaq, and Shaq still thinks it should be because he's Shaq.
How much money does Shaq have? Like, how much do you need, buddy? You're in every commercial break, every little product.
Yeah, and he gets a piece
of the company. It's not like he's doing
Yeah.
Nike or something. He's doing like General's Insurance and
Papa John's,
Icy Hot, and just everything. Everything.
He does everything. And look, Shaq's great. Okay, Shaq's great. But Shaq, much like Ben Simmons, did not get the most out of his ability. Because he was
never
lazy.
Been practiced. He never practiced. He was just great naturally.
He got fat.
Big.
He was big and athletic. He could move really well for a literal giant, and he dominated everybody. But if he fucking worked on those free throws, they would have had to change the rules, Ed. Well, like if the guy couldn't make half of the free throws, and you know, the great Rick Barry, who everybody loves,
right?
He's like, you just got to shoot those underhand, dude. Like I'll show you. We could do it in a weekend. We do it in one session. I'll show you how to flip them up there, and most of them are going to go in. But that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to shoot like that. And so I have to say,
Shaq averaged 50 points. If he averaged 50 points a game because he was doing that shot, it wouldn't be uncool anymore. No, people would be like, "Oh, I got to do this."
Everybody be doing it. Everybody be doing it. Just
one point of contention.
Tell me,
Rick Barry, maybe less liked than Jerry West.
Yes, he's the most. I don't know if he's still alive, but he's very cantankerous, and everybody hates his guts. His kids hate his guts. I'm pretty sure. He seems like an asshole dad for sure.
Yeah. Mercedes-Benz wants a car back from Deion Sanders' son, Shilo. That's the D-back, not the quarterback, after alleged default.
So, Ed, I mean, I'm not the biggest sports fan in the world, but I saw this story and I sent it to you, and I read it a little bit. This, how is this not a bigger story? Deion Sanders' son assaulted a security guard in high school while he was in high school that tried to, hold on, let me fucking read it so I don't get it wrong. Okay. Mercedes-Benz wants a car back from Deion Sanders' son Shilo after alleged default. Colorado football safety. He's 25 and he's still in college.
That COVID year.
Oh, right. Shilo Sanders hasn't kept up on his payments for his 2023 Mercedes-Benz, leading the car company's financial services arm to seek relief from the court, where Sanders filed for bankruptcy in 2023 with more than $11 million in debt. So that caught my eye. If this guy's 25 years old,
By the way,
yeah,
I encourage everyone to look at Colorado had his pro day like last week, and they timed the 40-yard dash.
yeah,
and he's like zigzag. He's not even running in a straight line. So
right.
I don't think he's too bright.
Yeah, he could have what Dennis the Menace had. Is what you're saying,
Right?
Like, yeah,
Run in a straight line if you want to get the fastest time. Buddy.
You're saying I Love Lucy might be one of his favorite TV shows. Is that what we're getting at? The company said Sanders, son of Colorado coach Deion Sanders, was past due for $6,800 on his monthly payments on his. So this is the car debt, right? But I'm like, how does he owe $11 million? Like he gets NIL money or whatever. Like his dad's rich. Like he hasn't lived long enough to incur $11 million in debt. He couldn't have invested in tomato farms or whatever. Sanders, an NFL draft prospect, filed for bankruptcy in October 2023, hoping to discharge more than $11 million in debt, almost all of it owed to one man, John Darjean, a security guard from his former high school in Texas. The Chapter 7 bankruptcy filing triggered an automatic stay or hold on debt collection efforts against him, but Mercedes-Benz Financial Services now is arguing it should be entitled to relief from this stay under these circumstances. Okay, I don't care about this. I'm like, how does he owe $11 million? Shilo Sanders' bankruptcy case stems from an incident in 2015 when Darjean said Shilo caused him severe and permanent injuries as he tried to confiscate his phone at school. Shilo was only 15 years old at the time and said he acted in self-defense and that Darjean was the aggressor. But Darjean sued Shilo for damages, and when the case finally went to trial, Shilo didn't show up, leading to a default judgment against him of $11.89 million. So Deion Sanders' son maimed a guy in high school and we never heard about it?
Look, I don't want anyone to be hurt.
No, either.
And like, if this guy's permanently damaged, fine.
Yes.
But if you're the high school security guard,
yeah,
and you're trying to take away a phone,
yeah,
and
bitch.
And Shilo is not like some brick shithouse. He's a D-back. Like I'm sure he's in great shape and everything.
Built
even
like
at
his
15.
dad. Yeah, like 6 foot, 189 pounds.
You're a high school security guard, and you can't confiscate a phone without getting permanently damaged.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Not a good look.
And also, like, who fucking cares? Like, if you like you make $12 an hour, and you're like, hey, give me that phone. No, okay.
Like,
I don't give a shit.
The principal. Like,
my kids, your kids probably do this too, Ed. That they take the phones. They come to school with their
boxes at the front of the room.
They have the boxes at the front of the room, and everybody's got a number. But all these kids just have somebody. In my case, my old phone,
the burner.
They just come in and they drop the burner in the slot. And so it's just like a bunch of old like cracked screens and flip phones. It's like, why even have school? They don't. They're on their phone the whole time. They're fucking Chat GPT in every fucking assignment. Like, get the fuck. Like, we got to rethink this shit.
My son texts me all the time. I'm like, don't you what's going on?
All day long. I'll text Ryan. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? She gets so annoyed. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm at school. I'm like, yeah, but you're like, you text me back 2 seconds later. Like, you can't be that busy.
Yeah.
Somebody, anybody, so we need to get to the bottom of the Shilo Sanders. Like, and especially like maybe the guy wasn't that injured, but your dad is Deion Sanders. You're not going to have a fucking attorney show up to court. Yeah.
Right. Make it go away.
Make it go away.
Like, it's absurd because clearly his son was good enough to start D1 college football. So like, you had aspirations at 15 of your son playing in the NFL.
Yeah, he could have been better. You didn't know at the time.
But like, you can't make that go away, or you just tell him to skip the trial. It's
insane.
horrendous.
We got a Lonzo LaMelo DeGello situation here. Like he's got like one that's really good.
He's gonna have to take up rapping.
Yeah.
I don't follow the mock drafts into the 6th round, but like he's definitely like Shador is going to be a top 10 pick, but
Shiloh not so much. Yeah, he's gonna have to try to catch up.
Also, he's 25. The NFL's like, hey, you've got a lot of tread on those tires.
Maybe he gets a cup of coffee with the Elks or the Alouettes. You know,
right.
I got the Tiger Cats. I got the Tiger Cats hat. Maybe he catches on with my Tie Cats. I throw the hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer my Alouettes.
You got the Alouettes hat. That's also a sweet lid.
West Virginia football coach Rich Rodriguez banned his players from dancing on TikTok. He said, we're trying to create a tough image, and if they're seeing you doing your little dances,
well,
I don't want.
I mean, Rich Rod's, he's kind of,
He's got a point.
I don't want to use the kind of terminology I would use for my friend around my friends about how it looks when guys are doing dances on TikToks, because I don't talk like that. Obviously,
I know it's a big thing for the youth of today.
That's right.
But it's
a bad look.
It's not a good look. Like you're going to look back on that shit and be like, that's cringe, right?
Yeah.
That's what or whatever the term for that will be. 10 years from now, you'll be like, not a good look.
I've seen like dudes, like multiple males doing like choreographed shit like in public, just like, but for the talk or whatever. It is always kind of a bummer though when a guy used to be a coach at a place and now he's the coach there again. You're like, oh, sorry, didn't work out for you. You thought shit was gonna happen in Michigan, huh, Rich Rod? Because this guy like basically invented whatever the run pass option. Like he was like he was like one of the originators of the shit at West Virginia, and they're like, oh, he's gonna come over here to Michigan and do that shit. He didn't do that shit at Michigan, and he didn't do that shit at Arizona, and he didn't do that shit anywhere else. And now he's got to slink back to fucking Martinsburg. Where's West Virginia? Charlottesville. Morgantown. Yeah.
You know who did it? And then Sean Miller left Xavier to go to Arizona.
Yeah, now he's Texas.
And then it worked well, but then he had some iffy NCAA violation.
Yeah.
He gets fired or something, goes back to Xavier. They're like, all right, the favored son comes back, and then Texas is like, hey, we got an opening. He's like, peace out again, Xavier.
See you later. Too good of an opportunity.
Texas Rangers had to remove their team's new era overlap cap because it contained a vulgar word in Spanish. So they do like a supersized logo over the name. So the Texas Rangers logo is just a big T. Yeah. So right in the middle of the word Texas, the big T overlapped, forming the word Tetas.
That's a bad one. The Angels one looks like it says anals. It's like all you had to do was put the name of the team in front, not behind the logo.
Yeah, it's ugly.
It's ugly. It's bad design.
It's bad. Yeah. It feels like that's someone who would get like a D in graphic design class. Yeah. All of them look like shit.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Too busy.
Yeah, they're too busy. And even like the regular hats. So I don't know if you know this, Ed, but I'm a big Dodger fan. And you probably are aware of this. The Dodgers won the World Series last year, and it was pretty exciting. And so this year they came out and they have like a Dodger hat with a gold LA and the little button on the top is also gold. And I'm like, oh, I need to get one of those. I'm going to get that hat. But then it's like turned to the side a little bit. And there's an embroidered logo that says they won the World Series. That's the fucking size of Jupiter. It's
it's already implied by the gold. That's implied. That's the cool part.
Of course. Yeah. I don't need I'm not trying to tell you some shit on the side of my hat. Yeah. Just have it be the hat without a bunch of shit on the side. Nobody's asking for shit on the side of their hat, Ed. They're adding shit nobody wants.
Too busy.
Yeah, same with all these. They're like, oh, I get it. like you're trying to sell new shit. So it's like, oh, we got come out with different colorways. Everybody's
City
got
Connect.
every City Connect. Those aren't bad. Like you got that Baltimore one. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
A lot of the teams kind of have an ugly City Connect, like the San Diego Padres, like it's like those can be tough, but it's like,
yeah, some are a mess.
Yeah. You want to come out with new shit. Everybody's got like, I don't know if you know this, Ed, but all of our sports leagues, they support the military. I don't know if you know this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's got a camouflage.
We love our troops.
Yeah. Just in case you didn't know we support the troops, I got a camouflage Pittsburgh Pirates hat on. Yeah, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's. Yes.
The Orioles played the Royals this weekend. Their City Connect was pretty sweet. I liked it.
Oh yeah, I did like that. But I did see that the right fielder, the Orioles right fielder, keeps throwing to the wrong base. Do you know about this? What's going on there? The guy's trying to score on a blooper, and he's trying to cut the guy off from getting to second base when a guy's coming across the plate. Like, got to work on our fundamentals.
Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah, Tyler O'Neill, get it together. Okay, let's talk some sports. Or no, let's do some voicemails.
He's so easy to hate. Your time he likes to waste. His calls are far from great. His calls are far from great. He's such a stupid fuck. He seems down on his luck. His voicemails really suck. His voicemails really suck. No one's enjoying him. He's so annoying. Plus so fucking boring and worthless. But he's got nothing else to do. And he's even worse than ish. His thoughts are useless shit.
I haven't heard from Manuel in a while. The great Manuel. He's working the night shift.
Yeah, night shift.
Night shift. We haven't heard from him.
Podcasts don't work at night.
They don't. Of course, he never listened to them. All he did was call. He never actually listened. So it's like he could still call.
Good idea, Manuel. Why don't you do another one of those segments next week?
Just call back in. Yeah, exactly. Sausage or bacon. We're like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is good content. Never heard from him again. Ed, you may remember last week when I played the voicemails, I may have made a proclamation. Hey, if perhaps you left a voicemail and I don't play it, I don't want to hear from you. I just assume that I missed it or it got lost in the shuffle. And I'm not going to tell you who it was, Ed, but I'll give you a hint. You're going to hear from them in the next few minutes. I still got several messages from people going, yeah, but why didn't you play my voicemail? Like treat me like the star that I am. Just assume that I'm not going to respond to you because this is insane. Anyway.
And this better be a good fucking voicemail now.
Yeah, we got a bunch. Exactly. Yeah, you better knock it out of the park. Like if you look, there's certain people come to mind. Katie Shady. Like if Katie Shady calls in, her shit's getting played, because she's gonna say some shit that I'm gonna want to respond to. Manuel calls in. He's a made man here. Like what? Like we're gonna want to hear from Manuel. Certain people, we might have moved on from the subject. That's what it is. A lot of times, it's like people are talking about something that happened a month ago. Yeah, and it's just like then I got to re-explain what we're talking about. It's fine. Just I'll do the producing here unless somebody wants to do it for free because we could use some help.
Unless we can get a producer to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Oh no, hold on. It's turned down.
What up, Ed?
Oh, but hold on.
Yo, B.
See, producer.
Darbo.
Oh, Darbo. Oh, look who it is. It's Darbo. He called last week as well.
Following the Eagles in the Eaglets in Big Bear? I know you are because I seen you pictures. Does it even make it to the East Coast where Ed lives?
Ed, do you know about this? There's a nest cam. There's bald eagles here in Southern California. I only know about this because Darwin knows he texted me about it, so I wouldn't expect you to know about it. But there's a nest cam, and there were 3 eaglets in the nest, and then the next day, and then it snowed or something, and the next day there were only 2. And I'm telling you right now, the mom or the dad fucking murked one of those. They decided that one couldn't survive,
or could be the older brother.
Yeah.
Hit it.
Pushed him out of the nest. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking,
You're saying
Like
one of the
Kilmer.
eaglets could have been eating pineapple and milk that belonged to the other eaglet.
I'm just saying, it might not be the mom or dad. Mom and dad might be covering for the older brother.
Might have been Burke. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe the bird didn't like all the little beauty pageants the younger bird was in.
Could be.
Why is she getting all the attention?
Speaking
Time to remove her from the nest.
Speaking of Shirley Temple, hey, John Bonet, get your tits pushed up. You're 6 now. We got to go out to the
Just put on 8 pounds of mascara to look like Tammy Faye Baker. What are we doing with these kids?
Make sure some ass cheek is showing, because the judges, they like to see that.
Terrifying, those things.
What the fuck is going on in this world? Like, guys,
terrifying.
All right, let's get an update on the eaglets from our dear friend Darbo. Good guy, buddy of mine.
New York? Those things are badass.
Yeah, they're cool.
There's this YouTube camera that follows this nest that has 2 eaglets in it.
Yeah. Why are you saying it like that?
One of them didn't make it.
Yeah.
Really sad. Very sad. Very, very sad.
It's a weird pronunciation.
Anyways, those things are badass. Every once in a while, the father eagle just freaking loads up food and drops it on the nest for the eaglets.
Yeah. Like a fish.
I think we're about 7 days in. I think they fly out like when they're, 14, 15, 16 days old.
That's it?
I'm not really sure, to be honest, but
anyways,
you should get on it. Secondly, the Players was this weekend.
Oh.
Rory won this morning in the playoff against JJ Spawn.
Never heard of him.
I'm calling my shot. Calling it right now.
Tell me.
TBLS. Rory wins the Masters.
Oh, I'm picking him in our draft.
Let me know what Silver Point Sports says
I like
about
him.
that. But
we don't do golf.
I think he's going to win this year. Anyways.
We don't do baseball either, really. Thank you for that, Darbo. Now,
so that's weird that, how do they know they can fly out of the nest?
They just try,
on day 13? But what if you try and you're some are slow developers.
Yeah.
Is everyone the exact same time frame? Or does one think, oh, I got this. It's been 2 weeks. And then, nope, you don't got it.
I'm recalling maybe from childhood. Doesn't the adult push them? They're like, I'm sick of feeding your ass. And they just push them out. And then either they fly or they don't. Is that what happens?
That kind of rings a bell. But so the bottom of these trees must be a mess from all the dead kids.
Yeah. And that's good protein, because then the mom goes down there and rips it apart.
And then the dad, if that happens, then the dad plays Tears from Heaven.
I was thinking of you, Ed, because I was on one of my walks, and this is I was trying to get a video. I was on a walk and I looked down, and there were 2 ducks in the creek, and one of them was looked like it wasn't doing that well, and then I realized it's because it was on top of another duck, and then I further realized that one duck was raping the shit out of another duck while they floated down the creek, and then eventually she shook him off, but he still seemed kind of randy. And then I realized
the corkscrew dicks.
Yeah, they got the corkscrew dicks, the rapists. Then I realized that they were actually ducklings, and they were brother and sister, and it was an incestuous thing. And then I'm like, oh, do that again. And I stood there with my camera hoping to get a shot of the duck, doing its thing with the other duck. I thought that would be good content. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good content.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that, Darbo. Here's another one.
Ballers.
Oh, yeah.
Couple quick hits. First of all, I agree with Brian that Friday and Proud to Be American are both bangers.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
I have no problem with that song, but
Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Lee Greenwood, come on, Ed. This fucking got done dirty in our tournament. Great song.
Second, Brian's noises that he makes when he's disgusted with a song led me to ask the question, between the three of you, who's the loudest comer?
Oh, come on. Come on.
Team current episode, team every episode.
Come on.
Keep it baller.
Well, first of all, that's Charles Kuralt's son. That's just Charles Kuralt's illegitimate son just called it.
I'm starting to know
Yeah.
without
He's the
reading
best.
where it's coming from.
Yes.
I'm starting to know when it's Charles Kuralt's son.
Now, I mean, I'm actually a little offended because he's like, oh, team every episode. And you're asking who the loudest comer is between me and Ed and Jason Stewart? I think it's pretty clear who's coming the loudest around here. Like, that's actually kind of upset. Now, look, Charles Kuralt's illegitimate son, he's a good caller. He's left 2 voicemails. Let's just fucking listen to the second one. Like, what?
Probably also good.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what he has to say.
I let my play do the talking, Charles Kuralt Jr.
That's right. It's funny because he's like the sounds Brian makes. I'll be like driving with my daughter, Ryan Beckner, in the car. And we'll just be driving somewhere and she'll be like, Dad. And I'm like, what? And she's like, what are those noises that you're making? And I'm like, what? We'll just be sitting there quiet. And she's like, you're grunting. And I'm like, I am?
Wait, are you like Tool Time? Are you?
I don't realize myself doing it. Did I talk about here about how I realized when I forgot my headphones that I narrate my entire Costco trip? It's like I'm doing a podcast of being at Costco while I'm at Costco, and I didn't know I did it because I have headphones on all the time. But one time I forgot my headphones, and I'm walking around, and I'm like, cashew butter, and I'm like, wait. And then I'm like, oh, hey, which way we go? And I'm like trying to get around people, and I'm like, I'm saying this out loud the whole time. I didn't realize I did that until I actually heard myself.
You're going to have the guy who has to correct people from sounding like their parents. You know, those commercials where the guy's like...
Those are good. You know, yes. Yeah.
That actor is so funny.
He's so good. Those are so funny.
No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah. Okay, let's hear from Charles Kuralt's illegitimate son.
Ballers.
Oh.
What's up? I want to say one quick thing about, amateur golfers. And let's say amateur like me. Fucking Johnny Weekender, twice a quarter, whatever, golfer, doesn't matter.
Look, being good at golf, it's kind of gay, It's all, like what? It's like that Shane Gillis bit that like being good at sex. If you're too good at sex, that's kind of gay, Like being good at golf. Hey, I don't get into that. All right. If that's something you want to do, that's fine. All right. I'm not going to mess with that. So I kind of get what Charles Kuralt Jr. is saying here.
I was playing with some guy who sucks like me, mid-90s.
Good guy. Normal.
80s,
yeah.
Whatever. And this guy, we're, on the fairway. It's 135 out. He's like,
that's an 8-iron.
2.5 steps.
Yeah.
In front of the 135 sprinkler head and range finds it.
Oh yeah. See, he's range finded. Look, you're playing at the kind of courses I play at. They tell you how far away you are with the sprinkler head. You're like, hey, let me see a sprinkler head, and that's how you know the distance. And then you figure out how far you are from the sprinkler head. That's how you know how far you are. But a lot of these duffers go out there and they got their little thing, they're like,
because they got a gadget last Father's Day.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they asked
that's
for it.
What it is.
Yes, exactly. And they go and they dial it. He's like, because they don't believe the sprinkler head. The sprinkler head's like, 128 to the middle or whatever. And they dial it in. They go, I got a 126. Like as if he's got that shot in his bag.
And he's calibrating because I don't want to overshoot this.
Yeah, then he knows he's not going to take it away as far to get that extra 2 yards.
So it's 132.5 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Guy, let me tell you, you ain't hitting it within 2 yards or fucking 10 yards of
That's
that
true.
135. So shut the fuck up.
Yep. You're hitting it over the green, like
really.
Me.
I like to have a good time, and when guys get all fucking stupid like that, it pisses me off.
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever. It was fine. Thoughts. Yep. Thanks.
Yep.
Keep it baller.
Thank you, Trip. That's a good public service announcement for all the golfers in our audience. Here's another one. Worst songs.
Hey, Brian and Ed. Excellent job with the worst song contest.
That's right.
Winner was
Thank you.
100% correct. Yep. Billy Joel.
Oh, he's going to spoil. It's been up for fucking 3 weeks. He's telling us who won. And look, we got it right. Look, Lee Greenwood went a little too far, in my opinion, because that song's beautiful. It's fucking all about America. Made me want to put on my camouflage Tampa Bay Rays hat. But that's fine. You know, look, at the end of the day, it's all about who finishes last. And who finished last, he's about to tell us.
And hates that fucking song. So that tells you a lot when the guy who wrote the song hates the fucking song.
Oh, he does? I didn't know that.
I personally would have gone with anything by Hootie because fuck Hootie.
Oh. Ed Daly agrees with you.
That was the only slow song they played at our prom, and Brian wouldn't read this in my email once upon a time, but it's hard to get your fingers wet when fucking Hootie is talking about crying.
Oh, man.
Appreciate you guys. Late.
Well, he didn't say how, Ed. Jeez. We're talking about the Punch Bowl, probably. Don't make it gross. Oh, here's our dear friend Super Lee calling in. He calls in all the time.
Hey guys, Super Lee here. Probably hearing me for the third time because you've been censoring me. That's okay. I have some thoughts about the bracket. First off, Whip My Hair was the worst song I've ever fucking heard in my life. That is absolutely
bad song.
horrible.
Was that in there? That's the
yeah, I think so.
Willow Smith. Yeah,
it's a very tedious song.
I'm not familiar. I mean, we played clips, but I'm sure it sucks. Look, I'm anti entire Smith family.
Yeah, the whole family.
And Will Smith made a nice run to the championship game. Like it's like, you know, he was holding it down for the entire Smith clan.
And the fact you guys did not advance it had to be just because the whole world knows it's horrible and was not played as much as other songs. And I can accept that if that's your rationale.
Yeah.
I take great offense though with you guys giving We Didn't Start the Fire such credit, especially Ed. What? Ed, I know, you know, you're a East Coast guy, Billy Joel's an East Coast guy. You can hate on it if you want to. I get that. Yeah. But writing pieces of work or art, literature, songs, whatever you call it, where they're about history and making lists of things. Sounds a lot like Heroes and Jerks. Only Billy Joel got paid millions of dollars and you didn't, although I do enjoy your book a lot. Ed, why is it not okay then for someone whose format you stole and made into a book? Why are you hating on it? I don't know. Love you guys.
So fucked up. Look, this guy's trying to stir shit up, Ed.
Yeah.
Don't give in to that. Don't give in to that. It's a bullshit song. Heroes and Jerks by Ed Daly, available right now on Amazon, is great. And
have a new version out later this year.
Yes, new updated version because new jerks are showing up all the time and new heroes.
Or some old jerks have done more bad things.
Yes, and we're going to keep updated on that. Whereas We Didn't Start the Fire is a real piece of shit. Okay, couple more. Oh, I got to hit play.
Callers, hey, it's Ben 906.
Oh, Ben.
Just calling in, bowling correspondent of the week here. Pretty excited. You guys probably already covered the Yankees baseball bat saga that's going on right now. Is it illegal? Is it not illegal? Doesn't really matter. It's being referenced as a bowling pin.
Oh,
I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a bowling pin.
The shape of a bowling pin. Yeah, I guess I can kind of see it, and I guess it wouldn't be surprising. Bowling is trying to become more relevant by adapting a better sport to it and bringing the bowling pin in as a baseball bat. I mean, more power to them.
Sure.
I guess you can hope to be as cool as bowling one day.
No, it'll never happen. No, bowling much cooler than baseball.
Bill Burr had a pretty funny thing on the Yankees bats. He's like, well, the Dodgers spend more money than us. We don't know how to take more batting practice. we got super bats.
He's the perfect human being. Even
awesome.
If Bill Burr's talking about something that I don't agree with him on, I'm fucking laughing my ass off at whatever he's saying. He's our Mark Twain. He's such a treasure. He's a national treasure, literally.
I loved, like, a few years ago, Bill Maher had him on. He was like,
yeah.
You're like me, you know, we've been canceled. And he's like, who's been canceled? He's like, I've never been canceled. Yeah. He goes, I still sell out my shows. Like, people come, and he's like, no, but what they're saying online, he's like, I don't give a shit. He's like, I've never been canceled. Yeah. He's like, no, never. He just refused. Bill Maher's like, I thought we were buddies in this.
That with his appearance on his podcast, we talked about it here, where he just shit on Bill Maher. Like, he just doesn't, like, he's not going to kiss anybody's ass. He's amazing. I love him so much. Okay, one final voicemail. This is from a true legend, one of our favorites.
Hey, gentlemen, Katie Shady.
Katie.
Calling about those Oklahoma dirtbag who's fighting dogs.
Oh.
And as somebody who always chooses dogs over people,
yeah,
I'm going to go with dogs. And I think you have to remember last year, the internet phenomenon that talked about whether women would choose to be in the woods alone with a man they don't know or a bear.
Yeah.
And women chose bear all the time. Like, I choose dogs.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say that your worst song contest was a complete sham.
What?
Because there was no mention in any of the brackets about the worst song ever recorded, which is Gordon Lightfoot's Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Canadian
You
treasure.
don't put
Gordon Lightfoot?
novelty songs in a worst song contest. You don't put holiday songs in a worst song contest. You put the Wreck of the Edmund. Sorry,
Well,
I'm getting upset.
spit it
The Wreck
out.
of the Edmund Fitzgerald in the worst song contest because that's the worst song ever recorded. Anyways.
Jeez, she's coming in a house of fire there, Ed.
Yeah, that was one of her suggestions, one of her many suggestions,
Yeah,
and many were in there.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I just didn't know that song.
I don't know it either. I'll be honest, I don't know it either.
Title, I'd heard of the title, but like, I don't know it whatsoever. And it's like, there were a lot of songs I had heard of, and I took many suggestions, but don't be precious that every one of your suggestions has to be in there.
I agree. I'm also not familiar with the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Let's listen to it right now. Oh, this is Yacht Rock.
I was thinking, is it John Denver type?
It's Gordon Lightfoot.
No, but I'm saying,
girl. Woo! I'm feeling this shit.
The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy.
How I'm supposed to think this is bad? Is she being ironic?
A load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed in.
Oh, this is a banger. Sorry,
like
Katie.
this is a sea shanty song.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Right?
And the Edmund Fitzgerald isn't that one of the Great Lakes? I know Katie Shady spends much time around the Great Lakes region, so I figured she would like that. Katie Shady and I were texting a couple weeks ago, and she's like, yeah, she actually has exceptional taste in music, and she sent me, she's like, oh, I'm making this playlist, and I go, oh, send me that shit, and then she did send it to me, but it was fucking Apple Music, and I'm locked into the fucking Spotify world. Like, what are we supposed to do here? Like, what, like. How are we supposed to share things? Like can't there be something that's just everything? Like what? Like you got it. Like yes, exactly. Like you're the Crips and I'm the Bloods over here. Like can't we all just get along? Like just have the same songs? Anyway.
Yeah, they're blue texting people with Apple Music versus.
Yeah, and it seems like everybody's hitting me on Apple Music, but when I joined Spotify, there was no Apple Music. There was iTunes, and there wasn't a streaming option on Apple, so I did Spotify, and now I'm stuck with it. It's got all my liked songs on it.
Anyway. My thing is, I have a bunch of like Bandcamp and shit like that. So
what do you do?
I usually just listen to shit I own already.
Really?
Like I don't.
You download.
Well, like, because when I first got my first iPod, like, all my CDs I uploaded, so I already had those.
Yeah.
And then, like, Bandcamp type shit, I have all these MP3s, so it's mostly,
but then you got to pick what's on your phone at any given time, or it's all in the cloud. You cloud all that shit?
The cloud, yeah, and then it's just
expensive.
shuffle it. I just shuffle it.
Shuffle it in and out, yeah.
And then... when I don't listen to much music because I'm not in the car all the time. And when I'm on my bike, I listen to podcasts.
Yeah. Or books.
Yes.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, you know what I'm going to start listening to?
Tell me.
Jeff Pearlman, Bo Jackson book.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna start it probably tomorrow morning.
I'm gonna write that down.
I think it's called The Last Folk Hero.
Oh, yeah. That's a good book. Okay, I just wrote that down.
And he's a friend of the show.
He's a great guy, yeah. I believe he lives here. He lives like within minutes of me.
Great storyteller.
Great. Okay. Quick voice or email. Hi, Brian and Ed. As you both know, the bracket podcasts were very challenging for me in my goal of full consistency. I was also very confused to learn via my Twitter follow that Major League Baseball's opening day this year was ruined. Apparently 25 million viewers and the most watched Major League Baseball game in Japan ever ruined opening day for America. Some people thought the Dodgers versus Cubs game was wonderful. However, I was informed that it was only wonderful if quote, you mean poorly timed and exclusionary, the former America's favorite pastime, alienating the one audience that they should care most about by making it difficult to watch opening day of their sport. Everything makes sense now. Thanks, G Fish. Of course, he's talking about Jay Stu, who was up in arms that Major League Baseball's opening day between the Dodgers and the Cubs was played in Japan, which to him alienated the local fans, but for us, caused our dear friend Brad in Florida to make Jay Stu an intro song. Listen to this.
Yes, his hearing is poor, and he bleeds Dodger blue. He's a semi-regular on the show. His name is Jay Stu. Now he's tweeting some more, and he's from Brea too. Got moles on his face, he's in the place. His name is Jay Stu.
So next time Stu comes on, he's got a song. He'll be really excited about that. It's a pretty good song.
It is great.
Thank you for that, Brad. You are the man. We love all of the music that you make for the show. Let's talk about some things that are not sports.
Well, it's time for non-sports segment on the Baller Lifestyle Podcast. Non-sports. I'm talking about the segment now. Non-sports segment.
Ed, what is going on in the world of things that are not, in fact, sports?
Tough sentence for me to say, but I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
Rumor Willis says she takes baths with her adult sisters.
A bunch of things going on there. First of all, bathing together. Baths? Look,
I told you. I think like maybe the first year
you had the flu.
of this podcast,
Yeah.
I had the flu, and I just was like aching, and I was like, all right, I'm going to take a bath. And I felt like fucking Patrick Ewing. My knees were up. I was like, what? Yes. I can't fit in a bathtub anymore.
Unless you are very wealthy, unless you're like Tony Montana and he's got that carpeted bathroom with the hot tub in the bathroom where you could fit dozens of people in that bathtub. A bathtub does not fit an adult human man. They're just not big enough. Even a big one you're too big for it.
But even if we know the Willis / Moore family, have shitloads of money.
Yeah.
So they do have a giant bathtub.
I'm sure they do.
What in the actual fuck is going on here? Just marinating in the broth of your siblings?
Yeah. It's
disgusting.
Broth. Jeez. It is. Look, I'm looking at, and look, this is no judgment here. Remember, I'm disgusting. I'm just looking at there's Demi Moore and the three daughters. Demi Moore is hotter by leaps and bounds. By all, she's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's not quite. Yeah, it's not a Billy Joel situation, but it's not.
Yes, it is. But it's like, okay, say you do actually bathe with your family members. Like, why do you tell people that publicly? Like, you could just do that. You could hide that shame, like you don't have to just come out and just be like, hey, everybody, guess what we do? Because like, what's anybody getting out of that? What's the point of that, Ed?
Yeah. What would be the reason for it? Why would you want that?
Yeah. Also she's like Mayim Bialik. She's an attachment parent, Ed. I co-sleep with Luetta and have not spent a night away from her since she was born. They they like follow their kids around with a bucket for them to shit in and stuff. And what's her name was,
Alicia Silverstone was doing that too.
Good. I would never have thought of her name, but that is who I was talking about. Alicia Silverstone, Mayim Bialik. That's his. Yeah. Hey, it's great. These Hollywood people. No, it's weird that people think that these people are Luciferian ghouls because of their weird habits. You know, it's just like, it's perfectly normal.
We didn't connect with the common man. Rhode Island man lost 132 pounds by eating Chick-fil-A every day for a year. Brian, when are the cops going to look at his hard drive?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the blueprint.
Yeah.
This is the blueprint.
It does. It does say, there's that one guy. There's a guy that's like known for eating the most Big Macs. Do you know this guy?
Oh yeah. But like old dude, right?
Yeah,
like
he's old. Yeah, he's had like, I think like 2 Big Macs a day since like the 70s or something. And he's had like, it's in the hundreds of thousands of Big Macs that this guy's eaten. And then you look at him and you see him talk, and he's got, he's cut the bangs with a spoon. And he's got the same shirt and tie on every day. And you're like, oh, I think he might have a ponytail as well and glasses. And you're like, oh, this guy,
this is a grown up Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just like, he can only really comprehend having one kind of food. But look, I haven't had one in 20 years, but a Big Mac is pretty good. Like, you can fuck with a Big Mac.
Sure.
It's pretty delicious. This Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. Like, I haven't had it in a while, but I can still taste it. I know it's good.
It's good. Now, Chick-fil-A, like, what the fuck is it, Ed? It's a fried chicken thing.
It's a much worse version of Popeyes.
Yeah. It's like white people Popeyes. It's bland. It's fucking dull. It's boring. It's expensive. I get saddled with bringing it to children all the time. And who would want that every fucking day of their life?
What was his diet that eating that every day lost you 132 pounds?
Yeah. This is like, remember Jared, the great Jared, with the at Indiana University with that tremendous porno collection that he had. He switched to 6-inch subs and lost like 400 pounds. And it's like, what the fuck? What was he eating before the subs?
Remember, like years ago, I was a judge at an advertising award show.
Yes.
And the one dude worked on the Subway account, and this was before the scandal had broken. And he goes, "Man, every time we have to do new commercials, that fat fuck has put on 50 more pounds. We just have to get stronger Spanx." He's like, that dude just keeps putting on weight, and then we have to advertise that he's losing weight. So he just, by the end, like the Spanx were just like holding on for dear life.
Still no word on what happened to the pants, Ed. Like, look, we know where Jared is. We know he's locked up. But the bigger question is, what happened to the fucking pants? How do we get those pants for this show? We should have the pants.
Well, I was thinking maybe they cut them up and made they could make like 11 pairs. No, they could make like 11 pairs of pants for like a family.
Yes, for children, for his victims. They could make new pants for all of his victims
to cover up his victims.
What else, Ed?
CEO allegedly choked and threatened to kill a barefoot passenger on Virgin Voyages cruise. Somebody mouthed off to his wife or something.
No, well, sort of. Yeah, I think I read this, unless I read it wrong. They were at some cruise function, and let's be honest. If you're on a cruise, you're fucking ossified drunk the entire time. So that's what's happening. Like, it's like some party on the thing, and some guy was on the dance floor barefoot. Now, it is a cruise. I assume everything happens barefoot. What do I know? But the CEO's wife was like, "Hey, scumbag, why don't you put some fucking shoes on? Or what are you doing out here barefoot?" And the guy's like, "Hey, how about you go fuck yourself?" And that's when the CEO came in. Okay. So he was defending his mouthy wife, is my understanding. The CEO of a California-based financial services company faces a federal assault charge of choking a man on a Virgin Voyage. Also, they play it fast and loose with the CEO. thing, Ed. Like, I'm the CEO of the fucking Baller Lifestyle podcast, right? Yeah. So if I smack somebody around, they're gonna be like, oh, a CEO? Like, get the fuck out of here. Authorities allege that Kenneth DeGiorgio, the CEO, First American, that's actually a big company, First American Financial Corp, choked a male victim following an incident that involved his wife, Nicole DeGiorgio. This sounds like the kind of people that might like to do a little tuning up, Ed. I'm just saying.
What's his name? What DeGiorgio?
Kenneth DeGiorgio. Mr. DeGiorgio responded to the actions of an individual who harassed his wife, making her feel threatened and intimidated. The complaint alleges that the victim was dancing barefoot on the dance floor on the ship in the ship's On the Rocks bar. Imagine how fucking sad that place is, Ed. The On the Rock. Hey, let's go to let's get our big. You know, they got like those. We used to have them in high school. Those big mugs. It's like it was called a Super Co-Pilot. We would go get a Super Co-Pilot from the from Stop and Go Market, and it's like you would pay for it filled with soda, but then it was like a big handle mug, and then we'd go to keg parties with our Super Co-Pilot, and we'd fill it up because it was like 64 ounces, and we'd walk around drinking our Super Co-Pilot. But I imagine,
by the way,
he looks like he's been AI'd. It looks like he's been superimposed.
Draw me a CEO with an anger problem.
Everybody's dancing with their mug or like that big flute of like frozen daiquiri. And like everybody, I assume everybody's barefoot. Like, calm down, the guy's barefoot. You're on a fucking Virgin cruise. Get the fuck out of here.
He's on a cruise. He's drunk. He's angry because probably his wife has already indicated she's not going to have sex with him that night.
Of course. That's exactly right.
Nobody's that angry.
It always comes down to that, Ed. It always comes down to I'm not getting any puss. That's the great equalizer.
You know what it is? And Will Smith at the Oscars.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? He had to show a big masculine show.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Look how not gay I am. I'm defending my wife's honor.
Right.
A gay guy wouldn't do that. A secret gay guy would never defend his wife's honor in public like me. Look at me.
Jessica Simpson has been drinking snake sperm to help her vocals.
I mean, tell me.
I remember when she was super famous.
Yeah.
Did she ever have like a famous song that we know?
No, but
like I remember the reality show where like the clips where she's just a complete idiot and she played Daisy Duke or something, I think in the Dukes of Hazzard movie. Like she was really famous for a while.
Yeah.
But like I didn't even think of her as a singer.
No, you really, that's true. Oh yeah, she's trying to save her vocal cords. Yeah, because she's a brand, right? Like she's so fucking rich, Ed. She was married to that tight end, and now they're getting a divorce.
Wait, I thought she was married to Nick Lachey.
She was.
And then,
20 years ago. She was married. His name is Eric. I think he went to like Harvard or something. And then he was on the 49ers for a while. Eric Simpson.
O.J. Simpson?
I don't know his name. Eric something. But anyway, he's going to get a lot of money from this lady because he was married to her for quite a while. Eric Johnson. I will just say this. Despite the fact that she's very wealthy, she seems pretty easy to trick. It seems like somebody was like, you know what you need? You need to be swallowing more snake sperm. And I just happen to have,
you know what? Snake oil salesman. It's like snake oil salesman. You know what?
Very close.
Snake sperm salesman.
What you need is just the cum of a delicious Diamondback Rattler, and I got it for you right here. Just come on over to my house, and we're gonna. There's a right way to administer it, or you're gonna have to close your eyes. Don't worry, it'll be fine. You're amongst friends. You gotta get it straight from the tap.
Do you think the guy shows up in a wagon with a horse pulled wagon?
Yeah, like that. Did you
watch apothecary and various snake sperms,
like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, the one with Liam Neeson?
Yes,
and the armless, legless. That one was a bummer. Because he realized he could just have a chicken, and he wouldn't have to hear all the soliloquies from Romeo and Juliet anymore. You know,
that movie is so good. I got to see it again.
Yeah, it really is.
OnlyFans model suffocated a Southern California man while filming saran wrap fetish session. Glad I don't have that fetish. That seems exhausting. One day you want to jack off, and the next day you're getting Michael Hutchins.
It does seem like one. Imagine, like, it's hard enough. Like, it's hard enough to get just people to have the regular kind of sex with you.
Exactly.
You know, like, I just want just the regular kind.
Baby, can you waterboard me?
I imagine needing to be.
Hang on, this isn't working for me. The traditional vagina.
Can you get a hefty bag? Do you have a hefty bag in here anywhere?
I prefer Glad.
As Michael Dale lay with a plastic bag, saran wrap, and Dutch duct tape sealed around his head, Michaela Reilersdam. Of course, this is Dutch.
You know, when he's putting it on, he's like, "Hey, could you please put a Sharpie on the duct tape? Can you put, please don't release my name to the press?"
Yes. Now the adult entertainer and mother of 3 has been charged with murder. In April 2023, Dale, 56, paid Reilersdam, 29, more than $11,000.
Okay. He got what he paid for.
To come to his Escondido home and perform BDSM acts. And Ed, for the record, I know where Escondido is. It's probably about like 70 miles from where I am right now. When he took that $11,000 and gave it to her, she immediately became the second richest person in Escondido. Like he was the richest guy in Escondido, and then he handed her $11,000, and automatically she was the second richest person in Escondido. When she arrived at 6 p.m., Dale appeared intoxicated, but nevertheless, she proceeded to spend several hours.
Well, how long does it take to get the job done?
A couple of minutes, Ed.
You would think. He needs to be studied if it took 2 hours.
Dale had several extreme and unusual requests. He wanted her to wrap him up like a mummy in saran wrap. She obliged. He wanted her to gorilla glue a pair of women's boots onto his feet. She obliged. But investigators concluded there was no evidence that he ever requested Reilersdam to place a bag over his head and secure it, which eventually caused him to suffocate and die. She was arrested on February 19th and pleaded not guilty. She remains. All right. I mean, look. What other?
Get this shit in writing.
Yeah.
Get this shit in writing.
Yes. What other reason could she's not just of her own volition putting bags on people's head and taping them up. It's not like she's got a long list of victims who she's saran wrapped to death. You know, it seems like this guy had some fucking kinks.
We've all seen The Cost of Eggs. She has 3 kids to feed. She's like, fuck, guy wants to do saran wrap?
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
I'll saran wrap him.
Saran wrap his ass.
11K is 11K.
Look. I'm not far away. Anybody in Escondido needs saran wrapping. If we do it at a non-traffic time, I got you. I'll take care of it. My fee, $11,000.
Alaska Airlines flight attendant reacts to unfair firing over her viral twerk video. I wanted to get hyped up for my day.
Look, I happen to know that there are lots of flight attendants, and maybe our friend David Bray. Oh, and Dawn. We could have Dawn and or David Bray speak to this. Look, these chicks need side hustles, Ed. Like it's a tough way to make a living. They don't make a lot of money. The perk is they get to travel and fuck the guys that fly the plane. Like that is the perk of the job. So let them have an OnlyFans. Like, let them shake their ass. Like, look, you're Alaska Airlines. You're a discount fucking airline.
Hey,
this
Alaska
isn't fucking
Airlines?
Emirates.
You know what you need to focus on? Keeping the doors on the plane.
Yes.
Wasn't that Alaska Airlines?
Exactly. Yeah, she didn't twerk the fucking window out over Seattle. You know, like, give her a break. Let her fucking and also nobody even knew she fucking worked for Alaska Airlines. That's the thing. They're like, you're embarrassing us. No one knows who the fuck you are. Like, no, just let her live.
People will fly because of her.
I'd be like, where's the twerker? Did we get the twerker? Can I get the twerker crew? Where's the twerker crew working today?
Vermont police sergeant accused of watching YouTube in his cruiser, fatally hitting cyclists. I see these cops. I just assumed they were fighting cyber crimes. I just thought, you know, they're looking out for our best interests. Apparently,
I mean, usually they're stopped. I will say this, but have you ever driven past a cop that wasn't fucking watching something on his phone? That's all they do.
Yeah.
They sit there.
They're solving cyber crimes.
Yeah, they're just.
That's what I figured they were doing, because they're all on their phones and they're very intent. Even if there's a shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs parade,
that's right.
They're all on their phones, half a mile away.
Or you look when that madman was shooting up that Uvalde school, they were all on their phones. That's all they were doing was being on their phones. They weren't going in and being a good guy with the gun. That's for fucking sure.
Right. Yeah, we need more cyber crime.
A lot of cyber crimes happening out there.
An embalmer cut off a dead man's penis after learning he was a registered sex offender.
I mean, too little, too late. I do kind of wonder though, Ed. Like there is this, and look, I just want to state for the record that I am 100% anti-pedophilia in every way. I do not condone it at all. But doesn't it seem like there's kind of like too many people that are like way too over the top, and where they're like, we got to get rid of the you know what we got to do? We got to get rid of the pedophiles. We should be looking for, hey, is there some pedophiles around here? We got to find the pedophiles. It reminds me of the Tim Robinson sketch. Like, we got to find out.
Oh yeah. Find the guy who did this.
We got to find the guy who did this. It's like anybody that's like too, and look again, pedophilia, very bad. We shouldn't have it. We should, stiff penalties. But anybody that's like, hey, I got to cut this dead guy's dick off because I heard he was a pedophile. Like, who's this guy? We got to look at we got to get this guy's hard drive. Let's take a look at what the embalmer hard drive, because he's up to some shit for sure.
Yeah. Most reaction would be, all right, well, this guy, now we don't need this guy roaming around endangering our kids. The other guy's like, I'm going to take a souvenir for this one.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with that dick?
This ain't like Hitler's weird dick or Napoleon's dick, like or Rasputin. Rasputin had a hog, you got to hold on to that. That you need to preserve that.
Right, that's history.
Yes,
but this is a guy, just a penis that we would quickly like to forget.
Nondescript. Yes,
I will say though, and I want to be cremated and thrown in the trash. But
we know, yeah.
But you got needs and urges. I'm fine if the coroner fucks me before burning me up. I don't care. Yeah. I'm out. I've already checked out.
It's fine. Yeah. No big deal.
Fine.
I'll be unsullied. So you want a virgin hole. Have at it.
Have at it.
I'm not
just
like Kelly
me and then throw me in the trash.
Yeah, and then throw me away. Yeah,
just don't I don't want video leaking to my kids or anything. But
you're not allowed to film it. But other than that, do your thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap it up there. Ed, fantastic work as always. Great job.
Austin.
We had a lot of great calls this week. Had a lot of great stories. Just really doing it for the people here. And we'll be back doing it again next week. For Ed Daly, my name is Brian Beckner. This has been episode number 570 of the Baller Lifestyle Podcast. We will see you next week.
TBLS, hell yes, the Lifestyles Baller Podcast, getting bigger and not smaller.